Hello everyone, I'm Laurie Blower, and it is Sunday, February 9th, 2024. I would be remiss if I didn't say go birds, because I live near Philadelphia. So those of you who don't know that, this is solid Eagles territory here. So hope they do well in the Super Bowl. May the best team win. Before I get into today's card pull, I also want to just give a little bit of PSA for some things that are coming up in March that I'm really excited about. On March 1st, I'm going to be teaching an introduction to card reading. It's going to be at my office here. It's 2.5 hours long, so not a long class, 10 to 12:30. Bring your own deck. I'll help you get started using it or help you deepen your knowledge of what your deck has to offer you. We'll go through some basic card spreads. We'll get a chance to practice a little bit as well, obviously, on giving yourself readings. So that's on my website. Still have a few spaces left. I keep all my classes relatively small, not just because it's a small, cozy space if you've been here, but also because I really like to give individualized support to everyone who's participating. So, and if you don't have a deck, no worries. Contact me. Shoot me an email, and I can provide some great starter decks, if you will, both tarot and also oracle card decks. So anyway, that class is there. I have a message circle with Andrea Bosbach. It's going to be on Sunday, March 2nd, and we're going to be looking at your heart's desire from a soul's perspective. We're going to be looking at the heart's desire number of numerology. We'll be looking at each participant's heart's desire number, and we'll also be working with your ancestors and your spirit guides to give you some insights on how you can bring that heart's desire to feel more fulfillment in your life, to feel greater happiness, to recharge your batteries. So we have a few seats left in that one. And on March 30th, Sunday, March 30th, I'm going to be teaching an introduction to animal communication. It's called Communicating with Animals. I only teach that course every couple of years. I think the last time I taught it was in 2023. So I have, I think, 4 seats left in that one. It's a great one to participate with friends. No experiences is necessary. And you don't bring your pets with you because we're going to learn to work with them telepathically. But it's a great experience to learn how to communicate with animals, both domestic animals and animals in the wild, using several different techniques. And always, again, small group, supportive environment. And would love to see you there. If you plan to attend any of those, would love to see you. Check out my workshops and events page on my website. You'll see the links there for how to register for those classes. They do tend to fill up quickly since they're small. They're relatively recently announced, so if you're interested, I encourage you to not wait. But so thank you. PSA over. Let's look at today's card or this week's card for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. If you've been following along, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Almost every week, I like to pull a card for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. I like to call it a helpful lens through which to view our lives' experiences for the course of the week, for the purpose of growing spiritually, for the purpose of becoming a better human being, and honestly, for the purpose of giving us something positive to focus on, because quite frankly, these are challenging times. So that's really the purpose. I like to use whatever deck I feel inspired to work with, and I'm going to working with kind of a wacky one today. It's a pet oracle card deck. It's called the Pet Oracle Cards Be Your Own Pet Psychic. The author is Agnes von Volkenberg, DVM, so it's actually designed by a very intuitive veterinarian. But what I love about this deck is it kind of looks like your kids' refrigerator art when they're in kindergarten and preschool and they bring it home and you put it on their refrigerator. It kind of looks like that. It's a little messy, but it's really fun. And I have found when I've worked with this deck in the past with clients, people either love it or they hate it. I think it's charming, but the neat thing is the themes are very universal. Yes, you can use it to communicate with pets. You can also use it to communicate with human beings. So we're going to use it for human beings. I've been shuffling as I've been talking here, so I'm going to just split the deck in two, and whatever card my thumb lands on is the one that we're going to be using for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. But again, I thought I'd just use this sort of whimsical, lighthearted, visually lighthearted deck that also has some really profound themes. So let's see, I'm going to pull one now. Let's see, one more pull from the center. That feels right. I'm going to split it, and this is the card we have. By the way, this is the back of the card. Let me check it out. And this is the imagery is dark on this, so you might not be able to see it. Not dark as in negative, but here it is. It's leadership and boundaries. Wow. There's a whole lot I could say about this one in a whole multitude of ways. About what's kind of going on in the world right now, and certainly here within America. But this is for our own purpose of spiritual growth and for inspiration. And I'll tell you what my take on this is. I think it's very interesting that we've got these little pets here with crowns on them. But I'm going to talk about this from human themes. Now, since you have pets, this may apply to you. And it may be leadership and boundaries has to do with the relationship you have with your pets. I'm going to give a very simple example. Sometimes leadership and boundaries is very much talking about the human and whether or not they're establishing leadership in their household for their pets, as in good training, as in reinforcement of regular schedules so our animals understand and can predict our behavior a little bit better. But I think boundaries when it comes to animals is obviously very important. Again, having good recall for the dog. So if he runs off when you call him, you can rely on the fact that he's going to come back because he's been trained and supported appropriately in doing that. So it could be about that. It could also be about your relationship with your kids. But I think this also might be our relationship with authority figures in any number of places. Because when we talk about leadership, we're often talking about authorities. So I'm going to just generally throw this one out there as a question around where we serve as leaders in our own lives, where we also respect boundaries, where our leadership stop and other people's lives begin. And if I flip that on the opposite side, I would say this might be in situations where I am dealing with leadership. It could be work, it could be within your family, it could be within your government, where there perceive to be, are the boundaries appropriate from your perspective? And what you can do in the course of your life this week to establish healthy boundaries. So look at it as a look in the mirror to say, we're in positions of authority. This is what I'm suggesting. I honor whatever jumps out to you intuitively as the thing to focus on for you this week. But for me, I think it's looking in the mirror to say, where am I in the leadership role? Am I stepping up appropriately? Am I allowing for appropriate boundaries between myself and others? In order to respect those boundaries and respect other people's rights for individuality. And it might be where I'm in a situation where somebody else has leadership and authority. Are they respecting my boundaries? You know, is there an appropriate dance there in terms of the leadership they're providing and the extent to which I'm following, collaborating, or cooperating with them? So I'm just going to throw that out there. That's what jumps out to me. There's all kinds of interesting stuff to look at here. One of these dogs, for example, has a chain. There's a dog house that looks very nice, but it could also be a prison for that dog. Again, I can think of situations where I worked in the corporate world and was paid well, for example, or respected, but they kind of had golden handcuffs. So, you know, there's a whole lot to chew on here. No dog pun intended, but I'm just going to leave that there. But hopefully you'll appreciate the imagery here. Yes, it's a little bit messy, but boy, there's a lot going on and a lot to sit with. So as you watch this, if you're watching on your phone, you might want to take a screenshot and sit with it later on. There's green in here. That to me always speaks to growth. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So I'm just going to leave it there. Again, for the purpose of reflection, of inspiration, take from it what really jumps out to you. And also in light of what you know is going on for you in your life and what's going on for you this week. And I hope you have some fun working with that one. So that's my take on it. I thank you for watching as always. My name is Laurie Blomer. When I send out the email, you will also see commentary from Heather Coletti, my friend who is a philosopher, a life coach, and an astrologer. She's going to give us an astrological perspective for the week as well, so you can look at those things in combination. So thanks again for watching. Laurie Blomer. My website's laurieblomer.com. My email address is laurieblomerpsychic@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you. Would love to work with you, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching.